Hey guys, it's Tinker Tailor here today, bringing you back another Pokemon build series video. Today we have Sunkern. I think that's how it's said, probably not. Let's be real, every time I read these Pokemon names out, unless it's one of the obvious ones, I always get it wrong. But yeah, this one's a grass type Pokemon. It looks like a little seed that has sort of sprouted open, and there's a little sprout popping out the top of its head. And when I saw this, I don't know, I just thought of like a little cute garden that was maybe a little bit overgrown and just, a bit wild and out there. I not necessarily wild and out there, but just well loved and tended to and whatnot. So that's what I end up doing. I did do this on a live stream, and I said on the live stream, oh, well, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the inside of this build. I'm just going to focus on the outside. I'm going to make it like really pretty and overgrown and, just this nice little cottage. And then I spent the majority of the time inside the build. I didn't even spend that long in it though. That's the problem, is like I spent a fair decent amount of time, but I didn't spend a lot of time, like they're very, very basically furnished rooms, and I still somehow ended up spending more time inside the build. I feel like it's because also I had to do the actual build, build the building. So that's probably what that is. But I don't know, I did have a lot of fun with this build. It was definitely something a little bit different, because if you've ever been here before, I complain about landscaping. It's just, I'm not good at it. Or at least I think I'm not. I've been told that I'm okay at it or I'm good at it, and I do struggle to believe it. And that's not that I think people are liars, it's just that I can't see what other people see. You know what I mean? Like it's not as I don't know, I feel like some people do builds and they're just absolutely gorgeous and detailed and beautiful and amazing and wonderful, and I feel like I've just built something okay. Like it's not bad. Like I'm not gonna be sitting here being like, oh, it's terrible. Like it's not terrible, it's just not great, or at least that's my opinion. And yeah, I'm definitely trying to learn how to feel a bit better about it. I think my number one problem with landscaping is I'm still kind of using one pack at a time. Sometimes I'll use one pack in base game to kind of mix and match and layer things together. Other times I will mix and match certain packs that I feel go well together, but I'm not up to the point where I can just grab whatever and do it like everything for free, like I just put this in, put that in. I'm just not very confident at it. I've talked about before werewolves, vampires, and I keep going to say get to death, life and death. Those three together I feel pretty good mixing and matching, and depending on what sort of exact vibe I'm going for, I feel pretty confident in the whole mixy matchy with those packs. But yeah, with Cottage Living, I don't know, it's I find it really difficult, and I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't know, like with base game I feel like I could mix and match some base game things, but there's not many other things I feel like I could mix and match with it. Maybe some romantic garden stuff, but at this point you can see I'm indecisive in even doing the pathway, so good luck with getting me to pick items and things such as to get them to work. So yeah, look, it's I don't ever know what I'm doing, and I think that's just normal. That's just how it is with me building. I never know what I'm doing, and I kind of make it up as I go along, and then I question everything, and then people say, stop questioning yourself, like it's actually all right, it's pretty decent, and then I try to believe them, but then I still question myself silently. But I feel like it's the thing we all do. We're all pretty self-critical to varying degrees. I mean, there are definitely people out there who are not critical at all and definitely feel mega confidence in everything they do, and you know what? If we all had a little bit more confidence, we would all get more things done and be brave and do, the scary things that, if we were more confident, it wouldn't necessarily be so scary. There's things I'm doing in my life right now that I find a little bit scary, but I'm giving them a go and trying to do my best at, just trying to exist outside the sphere I currently exist in, because, you know, we gotta expand life, enjoy it more, and do fun and different things. So yeah, I don't know, it's definitely interesting. But yeah, with building, I do try to make it so that I am exploring and trying new things and feeling just a little bit more confident each time. You know, with this build, I'm not even that confident with like cottage type builds. Now this is, I wouldn't say fully cottage, it's definitely a lot more cutesy and maybe even a bit more of like a family home rather than a cottage, but I'm having fun with it. I think it looks cute. I'm just enjoying, you know, exploring and having fun, because the main part of this was the garden, so I wasn't too worried about what the actual house looked like, but at the end I'm actually pretty happy with the house. And I think I need to just do what I did with this build a little bit more often and not care so much. I mean, obviously I should care about my builds and making sure they look good. You know, I don't want to just put out random builds that just look haphazardly thrown together. I mean, unless I'm going for that. But yeah, I wasn't for this build, so the fact that I wasn't and it worked out in a way that I liked and I wanted, I feel pretty happy about that. So yeah, I think I'm going to try and take a bit more of a relaxed approach to building, because yeah, I definitely find it a lot calmer, more relaxing and easy to deal with. So yeah, I don't know. But definitely let me know down below your thoughts on this build, even if we're only this far in. If there's anything you do like, you don't like, you think I should have done, or any advice you have for landscaping, because I'm always looking for advice for landscaping. This could be like 20 years in the future, and if YouTube is still a thing and these videos are still live and whatever, please let me know. What's your advice on landscaping? I'll take it. I don't care how early or late the advice is. I'll listen to it, because yeah, I'm still not 100% confident in it. But I am having a lot of fun exploring it. I think at the moment I'm just, yeah, focusing on finding the joy in life. You know, I've had a fairly up and down existence recently. So yeah, just trying to find the little things in life that bring me joy, and building is definitely one of them. And yeah, I don't know, especially when I hang out on stream and build, I find it just to be really therapeutic, because I can just sit there and talk nonsense, and it helps occupy a little part of my brain that, I'm not gonna lie, gets very distracted when I'm building off screen. You know, like the next build, which I will be recording immediately after this, that one I did most of it on stream, but then I got a little bit tired and I was worried my computer was going to explode, because yeah, it has had moments where it's completely glitched out and shut down and just been unusable for a little bit. So I've been, you know, building in smaller chunks recently, but yeah, I did most of it on stream, and then I cut it down. No, I didn't cut it down, I finished. Sorry, I finished streaming, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna finish it. But because I'd done most of it and I knew what needed to be done, I wasn't necessarily worried about what was left, because I knew what was left, I knew what I wanted to do, I knew how I wanted to do it, so I just went and did it. So I think, yeah, starting my builds on stream, very smart idea. Finishing them on stream, not as important. I mean, it's important if people want to see it, but, you know, if I'm running out of energy and I need to take a little nap or whatever, definitely, like, it's definitely something I am open to, you know, just finishing them off stream rather than being worried about finishing them on stream. But yeah, I'm definitely getting back into streaming. I've been a bit hit and miss with it recently because of, you know, moving and existing and just stuff and things going on. But I'm definitely enjoying it, getting back into it. So yeah, if you want to see me stream, definitely head over to Twitch. There's a link down below. I link all of my socials, so if you're ever looking for, like, you know, what socials I'm on, they are linked down below. But yeah, I don't know, it's definitely a lot of fun, and I've made some really wonderful friends through streaming, and I'm very, very grateful for them, because, you know, like, I could have just done this all on my own and you know, just uploaded these videos and kind of been in my own little sphere over here. But I find streaming to be very, very enjoyable and relaxing, and you know, you just get to hang out with people and chat and get feedback and stuff like that. For example, with this build towards the end, I got raided by one of my friends, and she is just amazing at this sort of landscaping. Her name is Sarius LP, and yeah, just absolutely fantastic at this sort of style, and I'm more than a little jealous, but you know, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and this is one of her strengths, is this sort of like, garden area, cottage type. I mean, she's amazing at whatever she puts her heart to, her hand. I don't know, whatever she does, she's amazing at it. All of her builds are amazing. But I admire these builds more of hers because of the fact that I think I struggle with them. And she came in and she said that the landscaping looked really good. So I'm gonna take that as a win, because if she likes it, then I clearly done a good job, because she's just fantastic and amazing at it. And she spends hours on it, like absolute hours on it. And I spent maybe half an hour. Maybe, and that's because I paused a lot and talked a lot and yeah. And I did fiddle with it, but I think the more I fiddle with landscaping, the worse it gets. You know, at the start, you'll see when I landscape, I just go in and I plonk things down because I'm like, okay, I need this plant, need this plant, need this plant, need this plant, and it kind of fills up the area a little bit. And because I'm getting different plants out, they're spread out a little bit. But then you move to the next section and you've got to kind of copy them over. But I find when I copy them over, I don't know what I do. It just to me, it doesn't look as good as that first little section. So yeah, I'm not as pleased with with the last little bit I did, but honestly, it's probably the same. It probably looks the same all the way around. So yeah, I'm not too concerned about perfecting it just yet. I just want to kind of learn what I'm doing, how to do it, what looks good, what doesn't, and yeah, just kind of have fun with it. Actually, I think it was this stream that it was this stream that my computer crashed, because I do this little lounge space, and then my computer crashes, and then you'll see me come back and do the lounge space again. But thankfully I'd saved. So if you're listening along and you're playing, please, 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 please save your game. It's so very important to save your game, because if you don't, you might lose everything like I did. And yeah, you'll see I do put the furniture back in. I think it's mostly the same. I might pick slightly different swatches because I took like an hour or two break, and yeah, I was like, this will do. And so that's what I end up doing. But also with this video, I think I lost part of this footage, because this is the second build that I was doing in this stream. I think I'd done this build over 2 streams. So this sort of middle-y section, I'm pretty sure, is me doing it off camera. I think I do a little bit of it off camera, and then I jump back on stream and I finish it on stream. And yeah, I lost part of the footage. I could not get to it for the life of me, because the first half of that stream was a different build, and I couldn't get to that either because of the crash. But it turns out when it crashes, it saves it as a different file type, and then I have to translate the file type from one to another, and I don't know what I'm ever doing with technology. And my technological roommate, who I rely on for all my tech stuff, moved out, and I can't exactly just, call them up and be like, please fix, because they have their own little life. I say little life, their own life to live, so I figured it out on my own. I feel very proud that I did that. And then yeah, I edited this video and the next one. The second stream I did where I was finishing this build, that stream was fine. There was no crashing or anything like that. There was no issues or things such as, so it all worked out in the end. But yeah, I'm not very technologically literate. I am. I used a phrase the other day, and I really liked it, but I can't remember what it was. But it was basically like, you know, oh, you don't do these things because it's an issue. It's to your technological safety. But like, I am the issue. I am the concern. I am the cybersecurity risk. It's not my computer. It's me. So the fact that, yeah, I figured it out on my own, and it was not a cybersecurity risk, I feel pretty proud, you know, pat myself on the back there. Because like a lot of people who are into gaming and stuff like that, like a lot of people do know about computers and how it all works and whatnot. At least every friend I know who's into gaming is like, oh, you just do this. Or they know what to look up to find the solution, whereas I'm like, hello, this thing happened and I don't know what to do. And then there's a solution, but I can't read the solution because it's written in another language, i.e. technology. So yeah, the fact that I figured it out on my own, I feel very proud of that. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, well, it's clearly working because I couldn't get the video into my editing software because it was the wrong file type, but now it's the right file type and I did get it in. So you are seeing how it went, because that first part of the video, before the crash, was the section that I had quote unquote, I could still access it, I could still watch it, but I couldn't put it into my editing software. But I had, yeah, quote unquote, lost usable footage, and I fixed it. And I just feel very proud of myself. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, if you're even remotely technologically literate, it doesn't matter. Like, you'll be fine. But I'm not, so I don't know. I feel like a toddler who's learned how to put the shapes in the shape holes. You know, the little box where it's got the different shape holes and you figure out how to put the right shapes in the right, like, the right holes? That's what I feel like. I feel like that. Like, I'm fully aware that it's such a silly little thing that, like, oh, you just have to translate the file and it'll work. But I did it. It was me. I did it. No help. I mean, obviously internet help, but no person guiding me, no person telling me what to do or searching it up for me. I did it myself. So, you know, if you are also technologically illiterate like I am, just know that you can. It is possible. We can learn. We can figure things out. You know, I've slowly started learning bits and pieces here and there, and it's all slowly adding up, and I feel very big brain at the moment. You know, I figured out, so I fixed settings in my editing software to make my audio sound better, but my problem with the audio sounding better is that I didn't set my mic up to have good audio to begin with, so that's why I couldn't hear any difference. But now that I fixed my mic, I've fixed the audio even better. Like, it did sound a little bit better in the first time I edited it a couple of videos ago, but this one, like, I'm pretty sure even the last video, I have done some test recordings and you cannot hear the background. I was explaining this to one of my current roommates, that I was like messing around with it, and now it didn't sound like there were tiny mice in the background vacuuming, and they were very confused. But that's kind of what it sounded like to me, you know, if you go back, like, I don't know, 4 videos or something like that, if you turn it up and just ignore my voice, you can hear like a shh noise in the background, and it sounds like, to me, tiny little mice vacuuming in the background. It's just the sound of the room, and probably honestly the sound of my tower running, but you can't hear it, or at least the last couple of times I've done some audio tests, you can't hear it. The one thing I am worried about though is, can you hear my cat? I mean, she's not in the room with me right now, but if she meows, like, will you be able to hear it? And that's something I want you guys to be able to hear, and I'm not technologically advanced enough to be able to ensure that she will be heard. So yeah, if anybody is into audio settings, or you know, on audio, are they called audio engineers? I don't know, if you know anything about audio, definitely let me know what I can do to ensure that I get to hear my cat, because that's important to me. I want you guys to be able to hear her. She is the sweetest little baby, absolute love of my life, and I will always talk about her. I will never not talk about her. I think the day that I don't talk about her, you'll know that there's something wrong, that she is, you know, not doing well. I mean, I'll probably talk about if she's not doing well, but if after that you don't hear anything, it's probably because something not so great has happened, and I refuse to even acknowledge what that could be, because that honestly would just break my little heart. Unfortunately, one of the streamers I hang out with, one of his cats passed away, and I was so heartbroken, because he's a main part of the stream. Like, I feel like the stream has been good if I've seen the cat. If I haven't, because sometimes I go to bed before the stream ends, sometimes I miss him, and I'm like, you know, it was a good, like, it's good that I got to hang out with that streamer and the people I've made friends with in the stream and whatnot, but, like, I didn't see him. And now, unfortunately, he has moved on across the Rainbow Bridge, but he is no longer in pain, and I am taking that to be the story, the message, the important bit here. You know, he is... I'm not really all that spiritual or, yeah, like, that's not really my thing, but I do like to believe that animals deserve to have a happy, safe space like that, you know, like, to have a place to go after here, you know, where they just get to live even more of a perfect life, you know? So, yeah, I choose to believe that that's where he is, the little guy, and, you know, I think the one thing that really upset me was he's never going to be on the stream again. We're never going to hear him. He's never going to say... He's a little bit of a chatty cat. Like, he's never going to say anything anymore, you know? But, you know, I know he's still around all of us. And I know this sounds silly. Like, some people might not understand and be like, that's not even your cat. And, you know, it's just a cat and all this other stuff. But, I don't know. It's... Pets are just as important as anyone else, really. I think even... I was gonna say even a little bit more, but maybe not. But, you know, I do think it's very important to grieve the loss of pets, because they are a part of your family and they rely on you, you know? They are... I mean, Macy, she's very, very reliant on me. She doesn't have opposable thumbs. She can't open her food. And, you know, who is going to get her fresh water from the tap? Like, yes, she could go outside and drink from a puddle or from, like, a random dog's bowl or whatever, but she likes her fresh water in her glass in the bathroom. That's where she likes it. That's her preferred drinking method. And, you know, she's a spoiled princess, and I will always spoil her. I'll always do that. But, you know, how is she supposed to be spoiled if she doesn't have me, you know? Or if I don't have her, how am I supposed to spoil her? But yeah, not really the direction I thought this video was gonna go, but yeah, if you've got pets, definitely give them a little cuddle, little kiss, little smooch on the forehead for me. Every time I see a pet, their forehead, I'm like, that is prime real estate for a little kiss on the forehead. They're just such sweet little babies. Yeah, definitely give them a little cuddle, a little play. No, just let them know you're there and you love them. Macy and I actually do this thing sometimes. I don't know, it's like a little challenge where we compete to see who can tell the other one that they love each other more. And it's just us sitting there slow blinking at each other as much as possible. And I think it's the sweetest little thing in the world. Like, she's just purring and blinking and so happy. And it makes me happy that she's happy, you know? And we do it daily. Like, it's a kind of a new occurrence. It's a new occurrence. There's no other word for it. It's a new thing that we've kind of started doing, and I think it's super sweet and super cute. And again, it makes her happy. So if it makes her happy, why do anything differently? So yeah, I'm just very, very appreciative of the time I do have with her. And yeah, when I had that sad news about my streamer friend's cat, I definitely went in and found her immediately and gave her some pats and love, and just let her know that she's valued and important. And I know she doesn't really understand words and all that sort of stuff, but gotta make sure she knows that she's loved and valued, and just a sweet little baby who deserves everything. And yeah, she's very appreciative of that. She likes to cuddle and hang out and whatnot. But anyway, we are actually moving on to landscaping. We've been landscaping for a little bit now, but I've been talking about cats, which, that's me. I mean, my profile picture is a cat, so, it makes it, I love cats. But yeah, this section we're working on now, so we've done the first little section at the front of the house, to the one side of the entry. I like that bit. This little bit here down the side, I don't hate. It's alright. I can kind of see it. But as soon as we kind of get around to the back and then down the other side of the house, I completely lose myself. I don't know what I'm doing. It doesn't make sense. I don't like it. What's going on? So yeah, if anybody sees what I've done wrong or what you think I should have done instead, please, 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 let me know, because I honestly have no idea what I could have done to make it nicer. I don't know, I just feel like maybe the problem is there's too many of the same coloured plants. It's very pink, purpley, blue, like those sort of colours. There's a few, like, you see the little yellow ones and the very, very pale yellow ones. But I think that's really it. I might have that small white plant. But everything else is like a pinky, purpley blue sort of colour. And I think most of the time that's okay, because, it's like, sort of similar colours and they kind of work together. But I just feel like this section, I don't know, it just feels a little rough on this side. So yeah, like I was saying, definitely let me know, because I don't know how I feel about all of this. Yeah, I don't know. I was also getting, like I said earlier, I was getting a little bit tired. My sleep recently has been a bit questionable, but I think that's just because I have been staying up a little bit. I mean, the first couple of nights has been because of genuine issues. One night I had a migraine and the other night I had some pretty bad leg pain, but yeah, the last 2 nights there's not really been anything exactly keeping me up. And the worst bit is last night I kept waking up like 1,000 times, and I wasn't even being woken up by anyone or anything. I do live with other people. I live with roommates, and sometimes they do wake me up, but this time they didn't. Like, I woke up this morning the 3rd time, I think, before my roommate even got up to go to work. Now, that roommate gets up pretty early to go to work. They usually start around 7 a.m, and depending on where they work, because they are a tradie, they can leave home at like 5 in the morning sometimes, because they've got to drive to where they're working. But yeah, I was up before them this morning, or awake before them. Whenever I say up, I just mean awake. I'm not actually up. I'm still laying in bed. And I only get up to take care of my cat. But that's why I've trained her in the morning to sort of, wake me up. She's very, very persistent that I go to bed at about 11 and that I wake up at about 7:30. Like, that's a pretty good time period. That's about 8 hours ish. And that amount of time I feel pretty good after getting that much sleep. But yeah, I don't know what it is lately, but lately I've just not been sleeping very well. So yeah, I don't know what the dealio was what that is. I've got some tea that is made by a company that works with local Indigenous community members to use native plants to Australia to help sleep. So I might try making one of those before bed tonight to hopefully get a better sleep. But anyway, we're pretty much at the end here. We're just doing a little bit of terrain paint and then we will jump into some screenshots. I nearly forgot to take screenshots. I took one photo and then closed the game, and then the next day, yesterday, I had to go back and take more photos. So yeah, we will be moving into those in just a second. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this build or you want to see more stuff like this or listen to me ramble about the most random things, usually cats, but sometimes cheese. I still can't get over that time that I asked you guys what your favourite cheese was. Yeah, if you want to deal with more stuff like that, see more builds like this or any of that sort of stuff, definitely make sure to subscribe. My usual schedule is one a day, but at the moment it's kind of whenever until I catch up. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.